August 6th, 2005, Saturday morning, Fortaleza, the capital of the northeastern Brazilian state of Ceará. The coastal city was waking up that day just like any other. Markets were opening, cars were moving through the streets, and a building standing in the heart of the city. The Fortaleza branch of the central bank stood secure as always with its massive vault. No one had any idea that right beneath that building, 3 meters underground, something had been taking shape for the past 3 months that was about to become the most shocking chapter in Brazil's criminal history. The story begins several months earlier when a group of people arrived as tenants in an ordinary house just one street away from the bank on Rua Central. From the outside, it was just another house, painted green with a sign hanging on the door that read Grama Sintetica, meaning a fake landscaping and gardening company. Inside a locked room, the ground was being dug day and night without pause. The face behind this entire conspiracy was a man whose name later topped the files of investigating agencies, Luis Fernando Ribeiro. At just 26 years old, he was considered the mastermind of this entire operation. Working alongside him was another man, Antonio Josivan Alves dos Reis, whom his associates called Jota. Around these two, an entire network gathered. It's said that around 40 people were involved in some form in this digging, though the police investigation later directly linked 25 people to this conspiracy. For 3 months, while the city went about its daily business in broad daylight, the earth inside that house kept being cut away. The tunnel's length reached about 80 meters, long enough that it passed beneath the bank, ran under the city's stock exchange, and reached straight to the vault. This was no hastily dug pit. The tunnel's walls were reinforced with wooden planks, electric bulbs were installed inside, so work could continue in the dark, and to escape Fortaleza's sticky heat, even air conditioning had been arranged. About 30 tons of soil removed from the ground was packed into sacks and quietly carried out of the city under cover of night. No one caught wind of it. The tunnel's success wasn't built on hard work alone. There was an inside hand behind it too. The investigation revealed that someone working inside the bank, given the codename Bill, supplied the gang with vault blueprints, security system details, and everything else that would have been impossible to obtain from outside. Armed with this information, the gang had already prepared a complete map for disabling the bank's motion sensors, cameras, and alarm systems. From the evening of August 5th, 2005 to the afternoon of August 6th, these were the final 24 hours when months of labor were set to reach their conclusion. The gang reached the vault's floor and began cutting through 1 meter, 10 centimeters of thick concrete and iron structure. This was the moment where a single mistake, a single sound, a single slip could have ruined everything. But no alarm went off. No guard woke up. In the silence, the vault's floor finally broke, and from below, a direct path opened up into the central bank's treasury. What lay inside was nothing short of a criminal's dream. Bundles of 50 real notes, neatly stacked, weighing roughly 3.5 tons in total. The gang did not rush. No haste, no panic. One by one, the crates of cash were carried out through the tunnel, loaded into the van, and then, before leaving, they filled the tunnel back in with soil so no trace would remain. Left behind were only a few juice cartons and empty energy drink cans, as if some ordinary laborer had been working there. Monday morning, when the bank's employees arrived for work as usual, the secret finally came to light. The vault's floor was broken, a tunnel opening was visible below, and the money that should have been in the treasury was gone. The total loss, around 164 million reais, roughly 70 million US dollars at the time. This had become one of the largest bank robberies in Brazil's history. There were no witnesses, no DNA evidence turned up initially. The gang had used only prepaid phones and cash transactions, so no digital trail would remain. But slowly, link by link, the police began to move forward. Just 4 days after the heist, 2 men riding in a car carrier truck were arrested and 2,100,000 reais were recovered from them. In September 2005, 5 more arrests were made and 5,200,000 reais were recovered. The investigation kept moving forward, breaking through link by link. But as fast as the police were advancing, something inside the gang was breaking apart just as quickly. With so much money, so many watching eyes, so much greed, trust couldn't hold. In October 2005, on the side of a road in a deserted village called Camanducaia, a body was found. That body was Luis Fernando Ribeiro's, the very man believed to be the mastermind of the entire operation. It emerged that he had been kidnapped by his own associates. A heavy ransom had been extorted from his family, and even after the ransom was paid, he was shot dead. The investigation also revealed that members of the police period when the money that had once held the gang together was now eating away at it from within just as much. The money that had been taken from the bank without a drop of blood was now demanding the blood of its own people. For years, the investigation never stopped. Year after year, small amounts kept being recovered. In one case, 170,000 reais were found buried at a house. In another, something else turned up at a different hideout. In the end, a total of 129 arrests were made and 32 million reais were recovered. But this was only a small fraction of the total stolen amount. The rest of the large sum and the complete trail to the true mastermind, this incident in Fortaleza was never just a story of theft. It forced every bank in Brazil to consider that danger could lurk beneath the ground itself. In its aftermath, banks across the country began installing surveillance systems beneath their vaults, and sensors capable of detecting underground movement were put in place. In 2017, an attempt to dig a similar tunnel was caught in Sao Paulo, this time before any theft occurred. This was the direct result of the lesson learned from Fortaleza. But the question that remains unanswered to this day is this. On the night the vault's floor broke, how many hands were truly present there, and where is that money today? A secret that may remain buried forever, just like that tunnel beneath the soil of Fortaleza.